Mondays to Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. in the newsroom. You can't afford to miss it.
A very blessed and peaceful afternoon here, and welcome to the Thursday's edition of the NEWSROOM. My name is Oladayola Nikoku, and with my colleagues in the NEWSROOM, we'll be taking you through 3 topics in our usual style. I will run down the topics before I introduce my colleagues in the studio. The first topic says, "It's been tough. I'm eager to go." That's where it's coming from, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. According to him, it's been tough. I'm eager to go. Well, I'm not to speak for my colleagues, and I know they are very capable and they will be able to analyze that statement from the President. The second topic, in these 48 hours from now, will be in the order of election to have a new governor in the state of Osun, and the candidates are prepared. And the second topic says, tight security for Osun poll. Somebody will call it water tight. And it says tight security for Osun poll. That's the second topic. And the third topic, well, we have continued to have it. It seems to be with us. We just pray that the Almighty God will see us through. It says, Nigeria security crisis assuming dangerous dimension. And that is credited to the ACF, that is the Arewa Consultative Forum. According to them, Nigeria security crisis assuming dangerous dimension. That is ACF, Arewa Consultative Forum. I said, my name is Oladayola Nikoku, and I'm the moderator. I have my immediate right, a veteran, a brother, and a very senior colleague, Olusoladiwe. Well, I call him his name. That is Agbadipo. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, that is the convention in the newsroom. In journalism, you don't bear your titles. You don't flaunt titles. The only title we flaunt is our name.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's my pleasure to be here.
And this other name we used to call you when you are in the service, Agbadipo.
Yeah.
He goes to anywhere and you see him writing. He writes. He will give you a report of where he is at any point in time. Good afternoon once again, sir.
Yes, you're welcome.
My own brother is also he's my kid brother as well, although he has no choice this afternoon but to be in the newsroom. So I know he's always happy to be in the newsroom. So he didn't.
Good afternoon, friends at home. Good afternoon.
Thank you. You're welcome. Well, our third guest is Honorable Wale Olaimi. He did say he's not going to be around, but we wish him safe trip wherever he is now. So here I'm starting from you. As a Nigerian, that's the from the president. What message do you think the president is sending as citizen of Nigeria?
Thank you so much. Once again, good afternoon, viewers at home. I think I will take us back. I think this statement, Mr. President has been saying it since last year, not now. He has been saying that I'm eager to go back to my village, Daura. And it's, to me, the message, the statement is loaded. Because if, as a president, the leader of the country could be saying that it's very tough to rule or to be the president, that I want to go home. But as a matter of fact, I want to believe if he has alternative, by now he would have, maybe he would have, go. But it's as good as just counting days. And it's so unfortunate that Mr. President is saying this. And if you are to weigh that statement, it's like I said, it's loaded and it's sending very, to me, my own opinion anyway, it's a very wrong signal.
Wrong signal, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, look at that statement as a Nigerian. what do you think? She just said loaded, but as a Nigerian, what do you think? What message do you think is very pressing across?
Well,
Is it overwhelmed with the challenges of the office?
Of course, judging from the body language, utterances, actions or inactions of Mr. President, one can deduce that the man is obviously tired of presiding over the affairs of Nigeria, or he has allowed himself, by so many factors, for so many reasons, he has allowed the responsibilities, the challenges of office to overwhelm him. So those are the two options. That is either not addressing the challenges of office, but seeking. There's a separation between the pains of office and the pins. The pins are the pleasure, the allure, the glamour of office. There's a way between the glamour of office and the responsibilities of office. So it's either that the president is seeking as so much focus his attention on the pins of office. There was a time he said that he worked for about, I think it was an in-depth interview, I think with the channels or so.
Arrested.
Yeah, where is our arrest? Where he said he worked for about 7 hours or something like that I forgot it, about 7 hours in a day or so. I can't remember the exact number. In fact, it prompted me to write a kind of an article, that the American president does not seem to sleep. He works 24 hours. The British Prime Minister works 24 hours. So, for a president of Nigeria to say he works for 7 hours in a day, it means, when you calculate that in a week, how much is that? It means that the president had so many long hours to either rest, doze off, or do other things. So, and now, how can you now correlate that one now to what is now saying that is the pressures of office are too much? I think what has happened is that the president has not actually addressed himself to the challenges of his office, or he has allowed the challenges of his office to overwhelm him, to the point of saying he's tired, he wants to go.
So you want to call it price of leadership? Maybe one of the things Mary is saying is having been away, because this was forward while he was in Daura. Do you see it has been a price of leadership, maybe having been away from his place of birth, or otherwise, or what do you think? Those have prompted that kind of statement.
Don't forget that the president has been in his hometown for a while after he left office, when he was the head of the
Head of state.
So, and he has been at home, Daura, his village, doing his manages life. And this is a person that has been asking Nigerians to allow him to be the president. Like jokingly, like as I just said the other time, that he even wept. That, please let me be the president, let me be your president. Allow me to rule this country. So one would have thought that maybe he has something good to offer. My opinion anyway. Now for him to now come out to tell us that I want to go home. It made me remember when I was in secondary school. I hate biology subject. So each time we're having the lecture or the class, I always just like, let this period pass. I don't want this. It's as good as it's fed up. That this I cannot. There's something I can do again. It's like but Paul said that it's overwhelmed. It's overwhelmed.
But you think he spoke of being overwhelmed. But let me quote him now. I'm quoting the president. I'm eager to go. I can tell you, it has been tough. I am grateful to God that people appreciate the personal sacrifices we have been making. End of quote.
Well, it may be, of course, everybody has his opinion to make. In the president's own opinion or own view, he believes Nigerians have appreciated him.
He spoke of personal sacrifices. He even spoke of the Minister of Foreign Affairs Godfrey Oyema, that he said he always away from his family.
You know one thing. You know one thing about leadership. You see, I've always differentiated leadership from rulership. You see, a ruler is different from a leader. A leader is demanded every time. A leader has no time even for himself, even for his family. Because I like to make allusions. Look at Nelson Mandela. Even when he was not president, when he was leader of ANC, when he was a freedom fighter, and he was jailed, and he came out and became president. In spite of all the challenges he had gone through, the dark tunnel and all those things, he came out so committed to South Africa. And because of that commitment, because of that attachment that could not be extricated, he lost his family. The wife. You know what happened between him and Winnie. He lost his family. Despite the fact that he was in prison for how many years? For almost 30 years.
29 years.
39 years. He could not even see his wife. And when he came out, he was not a changed person. He was still committed to South Africa. And as a result of that commitment, he lost his family. So you cannot differentiate between a leader and a ruler. You see, if somebody is taking up the mantle of leadership of a country like Nigeria, 200 million population, with vast landmass, with so many complexities, we are talking of ethnic complexity, religious complexity, cultural, a lot of things. That leader,
the peculiarity of Nigeria,
that leader must be ready to give 24 hours service. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying that leader should not be praised, but that is what is demanded of a leader. That kind of statement that is eager to go.
It's been tough. Eager to go.
No leader should. Ukraine is under the Russian bombardment now, isn't it? As Zelensky said, it's been tough. That he wants to go.
Okay.
He never said that, isn't it? It's still trudging on, despite all overwhelming Russian arsenal deployed to his country. He not say it's tough, that he wants to go.
Okay. So yeah, back to you. I still want to go to the president. We're lucky people, and we need to reflect more on where we are coming from. And they went for to say, when you relative to resources available and compared to the last administration, he said his government has done well in many areas, especially in the area of infrastructure. You agree with the president? Compared with where we're coming from, according to him. And he spoke on infrastructure, that the government has done well. What agree with the president?
I think if he's talking about infrastructure, we also need to talk about the debt of the country. So, and I want to ask the president to maybe can tell us, show us where the infrastructures are located for us to see compared to
completion of Niger Delta Bridge. That's one of the Lagos Ibadan.
You said has it been completed?
It's almost completed.
Has it been completed?
It's almost completed.
Okay.
And that has been the last 30 years.
Like one of my guys used to say that effort are good, is not that better. So that I can't.
But see, for the fact that has been there the last 30-something years, and no government touched it, you want to give him.
I don't want to agree with that. No government has felt.
It's only been approved, and it seems that he started it.
But do you know that government is continual?
Okay.
So that no government has ever touched in the last 30 years. I don't want to agree with you on that. But nevertheless, with what the president said that he has tried in the area of
infrastructure.
I need to disagree with him on that. I need to disagree.
But for you, the same.
Well, I tend to believe that the government did have a kind of an initiative to improve on infrastructure. When you look at the favor it has given to, of course, I'm talking of federal government roads.
What of the rail?
The railway system was also
that has been dead in so many years.
And of course, dead because the Obasanjo administration that had all the opportunities in this life to put rail failed woefully. And And it's also accounted for the LNG problem that we have. Because it failed to provide a rail line to move the gas to the, to the turbine. So, but in terms of building that initiative, I want to give it to this administration. But like Sheyi said, that efforts are good, results are better. I would have expected President Buhari to have completed that second
Niger Bridge
and commission it. That would have been the hallmark of his administration.
You still have some 11 months?
Well, but he said he wants to go. That is very eager to go.
He has not told us he wants to resign. It means he will complete his tenure.
No,
he will complete.
You know one thing. There are two implications to that statement. If you are eager to go, even if you are not go, even if you are still there, it means your mind will not be on that job again. You just be can't. Just let me go. So if he's eager to go, it means that he's just physically, available in Aso Rock, but mentally, spiritually available outside.
See,
that's where I see.
even at that, the way he was speaking, maybe one of the reasons why he said he's eager to go, he has an advice for the South indigenous. He asked them to stop. I'm quoting the president, to stop hunting national assets, to stop destroying national assets. You see, this statement was directly to the South, maybe the Niger Delta and the destruction of. You want to? Is that one of the reasons why was that eager to go? As we are building, some people are destroying, and it was so specific to the South. Stop hunting national assets.
Well, don't let us forget that the president remains the commander-in-chief. And this problem has been in the system before he came in as president. He is aware that we're having this issue, even most especially the South and Southeast, the militants during the era of Jonathan. So you cannot tell us that he wasn't aware of
the days of Jonathan.
Exactly. And no reasonable, very reasonable person will also wake up to destroy public assets. It is again common sense. It is bad. So, and for the advice, yes, it's good to advise, but however, it is the responsibility, like I used to say, that the major and the most paramount responsibility of any responsible and responsive government is to provide security and the welfare of the people. So, if it's giving advice, also is to also give support to those that are supposed to man those assets. So, and by so doing, they will protect the assets as expected of the government to do.
I'll bring it back to you, and this is your last take on this topic. People say the bulk. It's not the bulk now. Everything stops on the table of the leader and the president. And as a leader in your own right, as a veteran, you envy him. You envy the president. Looking at that statement.
It depends on what it depends on the situation. The situation will determine whether you envy the president or you don't. A situation will determine whether you like the president or you don't. But I know that the office of the president is so enormous in terms of the power it wields, the responsibilities it demands, and the pains that should follow it. Because as president of Nigeria, everything, like we said, all the box stop.
On his table.
On his desk, on his table. And whatever may be the inaction, action,
or whatever, even of his lieutenants.
Yes.
And ministers.
He bears it. Any approval, either in file or outside file, bears his name.
Even body language.
So even the body language. So whatever direction the nation is led, he is responsible for it. So he should be able to, he should not carry envy. He should not carry sympathy. What he should carry is to deliver his mandate as president to the best of his ability.
See, the same question to you as a Nigerian, and look at the office of the president. And like as everything stops on his table, you envy him.
The office of president, to me, it's not new to the president, to President Buhari.
You as an individual, do you envy him?
No. I will lie.
He wanted the job and he got it. Isn't it?
Now he wept on the
Yes.
on the.
What did you
Please let him be your president. Allow me to be your president. And he wept. And I saw it. You know what?
I'm saying, as a year, you went to that office.
I will lie.
That's enough of that topic. Let's go to the second topic. As a year, I'm starting from you. I'm just stepped back to you. That's good for Shopo. 21,000 police officers, 4 AIG, 15 DCP, 53 other senior officers, 3 helicopters. Don't forget other. So you are like, I'm yet to arrive.
Okay.
Don't forget other security agencies, the DSS,
NSCDC,
all those. It's election war. It's election war. It's not going to be war. This is a war. It's not going to be war or a game. Don't forget, we also have our own Amateco.
Yes.
So is election war in Nigeria, or is it supposed to be war or game?
Before I respond to your question, on another one, yesterday I met one officer. He was like, I said, "Oh, calm down now. Why are you doing this to us?" You said we are.
You go back to your own place. These are our states.
We are not start intimidating us here now. You came to come out. Let me, last week I think I talked about these ad guys. I call them ad guys. In town, working for politicians, and I think I called on government to do something about it. And I think I was at the stakeholders meeting organized by the INEC 2 days ago, where the IG himself, Al-Khali Baba, said that he has deployed 21,000 police officers to come and provide security for this poll. To me, the only thing I can say about that is that it seems that we are not yet, we have not gotten the tenet of the democratic settings. Because if we've gotten it right, why should that, just a election of a state, not deploying 21,000 police officers, only police officers, 21,000 to provide security? So it shows that though in the last few days the tension was everywhere, it was so high, and I want to salute the courage, and I want to give kudos to the leadership of Nigeria Police for coming out to provide that number. However, it is embarrassing for us to
okay, very talk of embarrassment. But if you look at the map of Osun, from I'm talking of when you look at Owena, the boundary, when you look at Ifedayo and Ifetedu, and of course Iliwole, you see 21,000 police officers and other security agencies for election, and don't forget we have 3,753 polling units. Is it to be anything?
I think one thing is that the way resources are managed in Nigeria, we call common sense into action. We call common sense into question. You see, 21,000 police officers deployed for an election. I think it's just a massive waste of resources. What is important for security, for our security architecture, is to be proactive. Look at flashpoints. Look at, investigate and monitor those who have been responsible for violence and security breaches.
Like what they call flashpoint.
Flashpoints. We all know. I mean, most of us know who the thugs are. Who those people disturbing the peace. Those people disturbing and likely to cause further breach of the peace. Why can't the police officer just go after these people and just get them? By the time you get them where they are, peace is not really returned but sustained. So if only Nigeria can learn from the way advanced nations manage their security apparatus. You don't as a matter of fact, by now the DSS and other security agencies would have had the map of all those flashpoints, and even all those people who are responsible, they would have had them by their palms, and just get them. That's all. When you now deploy 21,000 police officers to monitor an election, then it means that there are so many other security operations that will be left unguarded, left unmonitored, left undone. So our security agencies should learn to be proactive, to take a cue, to think even beyond those who are destroying the peace of Nigeria.
Okay.
Think beyond them.
Okay.
And see what they can do. Maybe in fact, in the next 50 years.
Okay. See, when you speak of the uniqueness of this country in terms of election, you see the watertight security pay not anything.
I think before I respond to that, I want to take from what Ogariko said the other time. I could remember during was it not Anambra gubernatorial election. So they moved some officers from Osun to provide security for them. So along that time, in our church, here in Osun, some hoodlums came to Bogu our church, carted away our instrument, equipment. So, and my pastor told me to go to police station to lodge complaint about the incident. When I got to the station, I discovered that I only saw one police officer and one in uniform, one in mufti. So I now tried to ask the what's it called?
The DCO.
The DCO. What happened? He said they have moved their officers to Anambra State, meaning that they fled that division, unprotected, if you want to, so to say. And these are people that government will cater from our resources. That's number one. Number two, I think we're only talking about police officers now. We're not talking about the numbers of troops that have entered Osun. At least I witnessed some when they moved their numbers to Osun. I was like, what's happening in Osun State? Is there any security report that there will be violence or there will be I couldn't imagine that number. They were at NYC camp. So that's aside. We need to, if we are, clamoring for change and we say want our democracy to improve, there are some things we need to get doing as a people and as a country. The issue of deploying that number, to me, it's not that I want to say it's not that just to provide that security, just to to let people know that in Osun we have 21,000 police. It's not that to provide that needed security as it's well. Just to let people know that we've deployed 21,000 police officers to Osun to go and provide security. So it's a matter of just wasting of national resources to me. It's not because as we speak, we have some in Osun. We have a police command, Osun State Police Command. We have DSS. We have DSS. But now, if those numbers, the number we have in Osun, it's working. Do you need anybody any other extra philosopher from other states to come and guide us to tell us what to do? By now we should, like I said, we should know those people that are from any troubles. By now they ought to have been arrested and taken out of the circulation.
Sorry,
you had. I'm coming to you, but I hope you have what you want to say.
Yeah.
But look at the impact of such and a voter tax security on the voters. Is there anything? Maybe they are used to. Maybe it's something they are used to. Or can this tax scare them away from polling booths?
That is why I said in Nigeria we misapply scarce resources. When you now invade, let me use that word, invade. When you now invade the atmosphere, the electoral atmosphere with this kind of troops, this kind of arsenal of troops and all that, then what are you telling? You are telling me that democracy is no longer my own choice or my own responsibility, that I should be able to just sleep and do and go just go back to my house and and exercise my franchise and just without any let of hindrance, without any intimidation. That is what democracy is all about. It means you are now militarizing democracy. Like I said, because of the inability or deliberate inaction of our security agencies to look beyond, think beyond, be proactive. That's why we find ourselves in avoidable crisis. I recall an incident that happened in Osun some months, maybe about a year ago, between Osun and Igbo. Now, I had an assignment around that time, and part of that assignment, because I was always visiting that area, I learned that the enumeration, population enumeration, the preparation for it, maybe the housing, whatever, marking of houses, and all that, have been generating tension between the two communities. And I told the stakeholder then that with what is going on, with the reports I'm hearing, that they have the DSS there, that there ought to have been enough.
Just like we have local government.
That there ought to have been enough security reports to envisage what will likely happen. I wouldn't know whether the security reports were produced or whether they were just ignored. So that is the essence of being proactive. Like I said, security is not only by intimidating the people. How many troops, how many number of police officers or soldiers you have. No, it's a question of intelligence. Being proactive. Think ahead of those who will make trouble. Think ahead of those who are security breachers. Or think of what you can do. That's the essence of security. It's not when you just cloud the whole place with troops and then you are saying your private security.
See, food buying and food selling seems to be another challenge. You think the watertight can arrest the incidents? You look at, and which seems to be the order of the day. You think that watertight security could be of an impact in arresting those who are vote buyers and vote sellers?
During that stakeholders meeting, the IG said it very clearly on the issue of food buy. When some people ask about what the security is going to do about this food buy, he said it emphatically that it's not in their own terms of agreement or mode of operation to make any arrest regarding such, because it's not within the confine of what they are here to do. That it is what all of us together will do to stop.
But so we see FCC in the Ekiti election. Are they there to
how many arrests or you heard that there's less? But issue of personally, I personally are not happy about this issue of food. I don't call it food buying anyway. I call it food trading, because we have buyer and we have seller. So it's something that, though the INEC chairman said that it's a criminal offense, because according to what quoted one article.
But what can you please that with what the IG said? If it's a criminal offense,
he said it that it's all of us that if it must stop, that all of us together must, and the politicians. He said it, and the politicians must be ready, to stop it, and all of us together, and those that want to sell it, that should not be ready to sell it. So, and now it's as good as issue of food ban. Please, we police, we are not here to make any arrests regarding, and if that should continue, like Lasson said, one of the candidates, if this will continue, it shows that it's only those in government who continue to rule us, because they have the fund.
I look at the statement credit to Shi, allegedly said by the IGP. Is vote by not criminal? Not criminal.
It is criminal, but institutions do give room for criminal activities to thrive. The politician who does not have anything to offer, who wants to buy the conscience of Nigerians, or the voter. The voter who is already plummeted by extreme poverty, who does not even think that maybe there can be tomorrow. We easily sell his or her conscience for a place of porridge, a pot of porridge. So, the situations have been so created, and when you look at the social stratification now in Nigeria, the politician thrive in making people poor, very, very poor, appallingly poor, so that he can manipulate them and use them the way he likes. It's just like one of the henchmen of Stalin, who demonstrated how a poor man is manipulated. He held a cock, and he tore, he was plucking his feathers. The cock was so helpless that he started throwing bits of grains. what do you think the court will do?
He
wants to survive. We will eat it. So that is the way Nigerian politicians have mismanaged the human and material resources of this nation. That the man no longer thinks rationally. He or she has had his brain so kandahar that he cannot think beyond the moment. What can we do again? So that is the appalling situation, and it's so tragic. That's why you see many people collecting 5,000 naira and 2 Congos of rice and selling not only their future but the future of their own children. So I want to believe that vote buying will continue, whether we like it or not.
See, I want to last comment on this. We have had this statement. The blood of anybody
does not what sheriff or.
How sincere are the politicians in the face of thuggery? That has no doubt precipitated that kind of water security in the election.
If I'm to comment on that, I will speak as a young person, because either we like it or not, we are the one to take over the mantle of leadership from your generation. Are you even ready? Are you not being used for how many Jews? Not all of us.
One of you joined APC the other time. Left APC and returned within a month after cornering millions of naira from other youths.
Do you know what happened to that guy? I've been following him.
Thank God.
I've been following him. Yesterday, I can show you my comment on. I challenged because I could remember he was trying to, he contested for the presidential election in the APC, but he couldn't afford that money. He even solicited for funds, and people donated money to the tune of 80 million. Later I said, this thing you cannot do that. He now said he's pulling out from the APC. He went to YPP. Unfortunately, he got to YPP, he couldn't get the ticket. Just yesterday, and I saw the video again, that because now that his leader has emerged to the party, the APC, and I'm now flying the flag again in my office. I say, I'm back to my party. I now ask him, I said, okay, good. It seems like you are not bothered about your integrity, about your image. But have you refunded those people that gave you money the other time? Because we have to ask. It
has gone. The money has gone. So it's been shared. So there's money.
But on this issue, I think.
He said they are leaders of tomorrow.
We will continue. Your generation, put us into this mess.
But you are remessing, the situation, isn't it? One of you has returned to his vomit. Now, after collecting money,
the sweat of some people.
Yes, he has collected
to make him a president.
You know how many millions he collected
yesterday? I got a speech around 10 p.m. yesterday in the night. I put on my Facebook that sometimes you want to query your sanity in this country. That am I still okay, or am I the one that doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing? So maybe that is the first thing that the generation put us into this mess.
I know that is argumentative. But then we go to top topic. I'm going to you. Nigerian security crisis assuming digital dimension from Mariba Constitutional Forum. Is he saying the obvious, or
you know one thing? When you look at, just monitor the operations or the issues always raised by Arewa Constitutional Forum. You will know that group has been telling Buhari the whole truth, the real truth. That group has been so vehement in his criticisms and reactions to Buhari's failures. When you look at the reactions of people within that region to Buhari's either his successes or his failures. So any statement made by that
ACF.
forum should not be dismissed. I think the president who has that forum, I think is it not
Adobe.
Is that okay?
Adobe.
Or maybe I'm mixing two.
Is that Adobe? The ACF. Adobe forum.
Maybe
is that about Adobe?
No. Okay.
And we are talking about the National Nigeria Leaders Forum.
Okay.
Not that Leaders Forum.
Okay. Sorry. Maybe
not
that one has always been very sincere and frank. So, but well, nobody will dismiss Nigeria's current security travails.
Okay.
Anybody who does that is being insincere. Anybody who does that is I don't believe is a real Nigerian.
See, in the Committee of Nations, the level of security, how do you describe Nigeria?
That will permit me to. I want to read something out. I want to take us back to the manifesto of APC in 2015. They talk about the national security policies. One of their policies in national security, they said, begin widespread consultations to amend constitution to enable states and local governments to employ state and community police to address peculiar needs of each community. One of their problems talks about state police and the local government. Here we are today, close to 80 years that they've been at the end of affairs in this country, and we're having this crisis. And Buhari promised, even during their campaigns, I could remember Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, when the country is faced with security challenges, we called their generals to come and rescue the nation. And we believe that Muhammadu Buhari was one of his general, so he was able to rescue us from this, and it's unfortunate that we only had one problem then, but today we're having like 4 problems added to the existing one. So it's as good as the security challenges in the country has been able to, if not collapse, near to collapse the whole nation.
Okay, I will come back to you. But look at the president's lamentation when you got to Kuje Correction Center, when it was really attacked. And was asked the question, borders on intelligent gathering. How does this people enter? Where were they? Who are supposed to guide? Is it about failure of intelligent gathering or betrayal or accomplished somewhere?
All. One thing is that the security situation has gone so bad because there are complicit, perfidy of officers who are supposed to, to ensure security, betrayals and all that, incompetence and a lot of all part together. For instance, look at the terrorists at land spent 3 hours
demonstrating their
3 hours at a prison located.
Even certainly give the money to
3 hours
to boot away.
Yes, 3 hours at a maximum prison located in the federal capital, and just some kilometers away to Aso Rock, few kilometers away to Aso Rock, and they were so confident, so brazenly confident that they were just there, it's as if it's like, in fact, it brings back to this film, Assault on Prison 13. It's a very, in fact, it is maybe those people had time to watch to actually build that movie, Assault on Prison 13, when the police, when the armed robbers invaded a very large police police station, just like maybe a police college in Kenya and all that, and they were there. They used every weapon to break everything, and they were just, in fact, they took residence there for several hours. So that's exactly what happened in Kuje. Now, of course, we have had so many stories, despite denial that it's not true, that some soldiers were withdrawn some hours before
the attack.
We don't know whether that is true, but if that is true, there's either complicity, incompetence, and lack of intelligence gathering. And so many issues are playing out now. The terrorists, terrorists who detained some, who bombed, Abuja Kaduna train, took some people hostage. demanded the release of their compatriots in Kuje prison as part of the negotiation. And look at what happened just after that now. So we can see a lot of things. A lot of games are playing. A lot of things are playing out now.
Okay, before we go, see, I want to last thing. Let me just, although I'm quoting Adewa from now, although we count ourselves among his ardent supporters, and I've always wish him well, Nigeria's rapid descent into strife, violence, and lawlessness is getting to a point at which he wants to hear. We need to tell the president what he also needs to hear.
And I've said it now, they only choose to be patriotic for coming out to say the truth, nothing but the truth. And if this country must continue to be Nigeria, all of us must continue to speak. Because as we are today, just a few weeks ago, I received a call here in Oshobo, and there was a particular woman that was attacked. And the man, when I was narrating the story, he told me that those he saw, who was a suspected Fulani man, that even they killed the Okada man that carried the woman. The woman, they broke one of her thighs into two. Here in Oshobo. So it says so that there are a lot. We have this problem is complicated one, and as we are today, if this country must continue to exist, we need someone that can lead from the front, not someone that just give me the chance. I want to be. Just allow me to be your president. No, we need someone that can lead from the front and give necessary support. Not that now that the guys tell us that. Please allow me. If I have my way, let me just go home. I'm tired.
Your last thing.
Yeah, I want to know. In Ukraine, the president of Ukraine is an artist, isn't he? A comedian, and he's leading the country in war. In Nigeria, a retired general is our president, and he's being surrounded by bandits. So
we also back in the newsroom tomorrow. See, I didn't.
Thanks for having me, and I want to tell people of Osun on Saturday. Please go and vote. Please don't sell your vote.
Please vote your conscience, vote your choice, ensure that the best is enthroned.
Until tomorrow, we hope to be back in the newsroom. My name is Oladayola Nipekon. Good evening.
Mondays to Fridays, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. In the newsroom, you can't afford to miss it.
Araba ni baba, ẹni abalaba ni baba. OSBC Television Channel 32 UHF, Star Times 113 àti Free TV 502. Pẹ̀lú èèkàn ayélujára osbcng.org ti gbé àwọ̀ tuntun wọ̀. Ẹ máa pàdé wa ní gbogbo ìgbà fún àkànṣe eré oníṣe.
Ọ̀rọ̀ lọ́gọ́rọ̀ lọ sọ ọmọ pàṣẹ ọkọ̀ yàrá lẹ̀ pàṣẹ eégún tó máa ń wájú ẹ̀.
Ìròyìn eré ìdárayá. Ọ̀rọ̀ sùnùkùn tí gba ojú sùnùkùn.
Nígbà tí Olódùmarè rán gbogbo àwọn irúnmọlẹ̀ wá sílé ayé, wọ́n kàn ń sùn, wọ́n ń jí ni. Kò séèyàn kan tó mọ orúkọ tí ọjọ́ jẹ́.
Àwọn wo ni ẹ pè ní
irúnmọlẹ̀ tó wà sáyé? Àwọn ni Òòṣàlá, Ọbàtálá, Ọ̀rúnmìlà, Ṣàngó, gbogbo àwọn àkọni báwọn.
Orin ìgbàlódé àti ti ọjọ́ ọ̀hún.
Ìwọ lọ̀gá, èmi lọ̀gá. Èmi lọ̀gá ìwọ lọ̀gá.
Ètò tó ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ìdílé tó dára.
Nítorí pé mo mọ nǹkan tí mò ń wá nínú ọkàn ara mi, so mo ti pinnu, mo ní máa fẹ́ ọmọ yìí.
Ìjẹ́ tí ẹ rí wọn gan lákòókò náà pé ẹ ti máa fẹ́ tí ó jáde orí mi lélẹ̀.
Ọ̀rọ̀ ìṣèlú àti ìgbìyànjú ìjọba.
Àti pé wọ́n ló ti ẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. tẹ̀síwájú. Ó tún tẹ̀síwájú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So bí wọ́n ti ń pè yìí ká máa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìjọba ni àti pé káwa kan ká yẹra kú bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn tí ò tí ì ní.
OSBC television ilé àwíyé òkè baálẹ̀ Òṣogbo òkè téńté la wà ẹ máa wò wá láwò gbádùn.
Time waits for no one. Time stops for no one. Your excuses will not slow down time. Your indecisions will not delay time. Your complaining will not stall time. And your regrets will not turn back time. So, don't waste your time in anger, regrets, worries, and hate. Because time will not turn back and cry along with you. It's time to let go of the past and stop worrying about the future. Your only time is now. So make sure you spend your time with the right purpose, with the right deeds, with the right emotions, with the right thoughts, and with the right people. Time flies, that's a fact. But you can always spread your wings and soar with time and navigate life the best that you can. Remember, you will never pass this way again. Make it count. Time. Do what it does. Keep moving. This is Julius. Thanks for listening. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. Welcome to Mind Amazing.
It is our duty that we owe to our great dear motherland to enhance her and to boost her in the eyes of all the world. Egalitarianism is our national watchword. Equality of good fortune must be to each sure reward. Liberty and brotherhood are the goals for which we strive, plus progress, plus plenty, and all the good things of life. Up, up, Nigeria, and take thy rightful place. It is thy birthright and thy destiny, Africa's leading light to be.